Just checking if everyone can hear me. Hi, everyone. Good. Okay, good. I wasn't sure if we were up. So, yes, I've got my eye masks on. Hi, Kathy. Hi, Arlene. Hi, Lainey. Good, good, good. I'm glad everyone can hear me. How was everybody's Easter long weekend? Okay, good. Yes, Jade, I love these. Volume is good. Everything is good. You guys know I'm so intimidated by live. So, this is such a big deal. I always get so stressed out about this. Hi from Florida. Do you say it Cara or Kara? I never know with that name if it's Cara or Kara. Hi from Washington. Hi, Terry. Ginger. My daughter's best friend's name is Ginger, so I love the name Ginger. Hello, hello. Happy to see everybody. I love that everyone's like from all over the place. I'm in Malibu, as you guys know. It's been super, super cloudy and drizzly and gray. I'm so sick of it. I forget. Oh my God, Calgary. Did you know I'm from Calgary? Well, I'm from Bragg Creek, just so you know. So I was just in Calgary. I took my kids. We went to the Stampede in the summer. It was so much fun. Let me see who else is here. Florida, Florida, lots of Florida. So much fun. So we're just hanging out and chatting for a few minutes until more people hop on, and then we'll get started. Ontario, Canada. Hi, Kathy. So I lived in Toronto for several years. My sister still lives in Toronto, so I go back there often, and I take my kids to Muskoka all the time. Hi from Jersey, Buffalo, New York. Again, I feel like I've lived everywhere. I lived in Buffalo, New York. My ex-husband is from Buffalo, New York. So we were there for a few years as well. Upstate New York, Boston, Minnesota. Oh my God, it's so fun, right? Um, let's see who else. Joy Patches. Yeah. So I have it. My husband. Oh, see, lots of husbands from Buffalo's. New Brunswick, Canada. Um, yes, the eye patches I have on the Jouer eye patches. We'll get into these in a minute, but those of you who tried them know, and those of you who haven't, I'll fill you in. Um, what else is going on? Who is still in cold, dreary weather? Who has not had spring yet? Bonjour. I'm just reading. Listen, I complain about Malibu all the time. I think I'm the only person that complains about living here because of the traffic. We have so much traffic, people coming to the beach, people coming for long weekends. But yes, it's the best place to live, especially off season. Oh my God, Texas. My daughter just got accepted to SMU. So we're super excited about that. Um, Sunshine one day. Yeah, I feel like, oh, your family's all from Buffalo. I feel like nobody's having good weather. Well, I think Florida, you guys have had good weather, but it's been not nice everywhere else. Um, but let's see. I'll give it a few more minutes for people. Oh, my little puppy wants to get in on the action. You saying hello? This is Sunny. This is Sunny. He needs a haircut. He's really, really messy at the moment, but he's a sweetheart. He's a Bernedoodle. People always ask me what he is. He is a Bernedoodle, but I got one that was like less curly, so a little bit less poodle looking and more of the oh, stay away from my eye patches, and more of the Bernedoodle looking type. But they are the best dogs. They really are the best dogs. Hi from the Bay Area. Hi, Amanda. Michigan has had the best weather. Oh, you're so lucky. Ontario, Canada. Can I click that you want the dog? Listen, I'm always looking for someone to watch this dog. So anytime you want to come to Malibu and dog sit and house sit for me, you're more than welcome. Um, let's see. I can't believe how many Florida people. That's amazing. I love that. I used to go to Florida way more often when I lived on the East Coast. Now that I'm on the West Coast, I don't go to Florida as often. But when I lived in New York City, we used to go to Florida all the time. Santa Clarita, I just drove by Santa Clarita. I swear I just saw someone say Victoria, BC. My parents live in Victoria, BC, and I was also there this summer. So I love that. Dallas, Texas. Yes, go Cowboys. Mother of the Bride tutorial. I can do that. I do a lot of sort of like that type of thing, like event makeup, like how to do your own event makeup so you don't have to pay someone to do it. Hello from Miami, Georgia. Hi, Sherry, West Virginia. Is this puppy really gonna sit here the entire time? It's so funny. All right. I'll get talking a little bit about what we're going to do today. So, one of the biggest questions I get asked as a makeup artist and just on social media in general is you go away is about dark eye circles, about crepiness under the eye. So, there's a couple different things. First of all, I love your dog too. First of all, where does darkness come from? The number one thing I always tell people is it's often genetics. So, look at your mother, look at your grandparents. Some people just genetically have dark circles. If that's the case, there is not a lot you can do to treat dark circles. So in that case, I just suggest we work on how to cover, how to conceal things that can help. There are things that can help. I'm not saying we can't help you. If your dark circles tend to be more environmental, and by that I mean you're tired, a lot of times just being on your phone, being in office lighting, that sort of thing. Allergies, that medications can affect your under eyes. And then, of course, there's age. So, as we age, your skin gets thinner, and those vessels that have always been there are just now more visible and closer to the surface, so you see them. So, if that's the case, we can definitely help. So, there are a couple key ingredients that treat dark circles. So, number one thing I always tell people is caffeine. Any product that has caffeine in it is going to have a circulatory response as well as an anti-inflammatory response. So, it not only is it going to help with moving circulation, which is going to help with drainage, puffiness, it helps with darkness, but it also just in general gives you a much more smooth under eye. I'm Lebanese. Yeah. So, again, yes, dark circles. Hi. Um, if you where was it? Oh, caffeine. Number one, look for that. And thankfully, the things I'm showing you today all have caffeine in them. The one thing that's not in a lot of products, and it's such a key ingredient for dark circles, is vitamin K. So, vitamin K is something that actually helps to work on your whole vascular system. So, people with varicose veins, spider veins, if that's you, get on a vitamin K supplement. It really helps to strengthen the walls of your vascular system. So, there's less likely to burst, that sort of thing. Vitamin K is really hard to find in skincare. So it was actually, I was so impressed, and we're going to talk about this product in a little bit. But when I saw it had caffeine and vitamin K, I was blown away because it's very rare you find it. You kind of have to get one thing with vitamin K, one thing with caffeine in it. And then again, things like niacinamide. So niacinamide is great for brightening. It's really good for giving you a clear, bright skin. So all those things are key under the eye. So what are we talking about with these patches? First of all, I think they just look cool. I swear to God, I would go out in them because I love the gold. But beyond just loving the gold, they work. So when it comes to eye patches, I personally, and maybe you'll agree with me, I used to kind of think they were gimmicky. Do you know what I mean? Like people would just wear them. Like I never really thought of them as doing very much. And then as a makeup artist, when we would go on set, especially things like Fashion Week, that sort of thing, often we were given patches to use. So a lot of times, and if you're a model, I don't mean to offend you, but there's a lot of models that are smokers. You usually diet down before these shows. So your skin is not healthy right before any type of fashion shoot, fashion show. And by putting these on, you would see such a tremendous difference. And so that's when I kind of was like, oh, maybe these aren't all gimmick. They actually work. The amazing thing with these ones, so I use them a couple different ways. One, mother of the bride, events, a special evening. If you have something you just want to look phenomenal for, this is the answer. I mean, I'll show you when I take it off. It literally erases fine lines. It takes away puffiness. It smooths out darkness. It makes you so glowy. Your skin looks really taut. So any type of event you have, exactly. It's someone just said they don't slide down your face. They don't. I could literally vacuum my house. I could go out. They won't move. They don't budge once they're on. So any type of event, have these in your arsenal. You won't believe the difference. But what I like to do with these is I do one treatment a week. So people ask me all the time about these, like how long do the effects last? So when you use it and you immediately take it off, it's a real wow factor. I mean, you definitely are like, wow, that worked. That looks amazing, especially when you put on your products or makeup or anything over top of it, you will see such a difference. But I find they are accumulating. So when I do, like, let's say today, what are we, Tuesday? I will definitely see these results, the smooth, the clear, the bright, the taut under eye for at least 3 to 4 days. So I tend to do these once a week. In the pack, which, oh, watch this little feature. Look at me go. So here, this is what they look like. They come in this pack. There is 6 in a pack. So what I tend to do is, like, this little pack will last me the month, and then I have 2 extra sets for events and that kind of thing. And I find, they really have the same ingredients that an eye cream would have in them. But by being in this sort of mask formula, it really helps to push those ingredients in and kind of lock and seal them in. So you get a more dramatic effect. Um, so that's the eye patches. And just so you can see as well, I'm going to back us out of this. I want to just show you. You can also get them in singles. So there's a 6-pack and there's the singles. I highly recommend getting the 6-pack because once you use it, you'll just be ordering more anyway. So just start out with the 6-pack. So that's the first thing I wanted to talk about is the eye patches, just because, again, it is the quickest, easiest fix. I've never seen anyone use them that isn't blown away by them. It doesn't matter if it's fine lines, full wrinkles, crepiness. Like I said, it will smooth absolutely anything. They're really comfortable to wear. And by the time I take them off, there's very little even moisture left on my skin. My skin has sucked it all in. The other thing I always tell people, so they come, on little discs like this, and you can see just by this disc how much moisture is still left on these. I always tell people to use it. So I often will use it on my neck. I'll use it on the back of my hand. I mean, it's really, really key, vital ingredients. So don't just throw those away. Every time you take your little patches out, use whatever's left, neck, back of the hands. Make sure you don't throw it away. Do they help with dark circles? Absolutely. They help with dark circles. They help with puffiness. They help with fine lines, crepiness, wrinkles. And like I said, you can feel them. Like as I'm wearing them, I feel my skin getting tighter and tighter. They definitely tend to tighten. I wear mine. What time did I put these on at? Usually 10 to 15 minutes is about the normal time frame that I wear mine. And like I said, you'll kind of feel when they're, I don't want to say done, but all of a sudden they're just not that wet anymore. Your skin has really just absorbed all the nutrients, all the ingredients, and then you take them off. So those are the patches. Again, like I said, people are asking, can they come in more than 6 packs? I don't know. That's not a question for me, but they are fabulous. Highly recommend for, like I said, any event you have coming up or just as a weekly treatment to really, it's sort of like if you do like a hair mask, like an intense treatment once a week to really get your hair soft, shiny, silky. This is an intense treatment for your eyes that you should do once a week. That's the best way I wear these. By the way, if you're asking questions and I'm not answering them, look in the comments because there are people with Jouer that are answering all those sort of more technical questions that I'm not answering, but I will try to answer. I always just hate, when I watch lives and I see people and they're not making any eye contact, they're just like reading the comments. It drives me crazy. So I'm trying to read comments, but at the same time, talk to you about my eye patches. So I'm going to pull these off. And I just want to see, I don't know if I can like zoom in. I don't think I can. I'm just trying to get you. I've done videos with these before where I'll really zoom in so you can see. I am telling you, it's just, there is nothing there. It is so smooth. There is not a wrinkle. There's not a crinkle. There's not crepiness. Everything is just tight, lifted, and smooth. So those are the eye patches. I don't rinse, you don't take anything off. Again, my skin is actually like it feels like I just put on an eye cream. It's not tacky, it's not sticky. They're really ready to go. Can you apply morning or night? Oh yeah, that you're answering that question. Yeah. So you can apply morning, you can apply night. I mean, again, what I tend to do with them is if you have a night that you're doing something, I'll apply it before an event and then that will be my weekly patch. And then like I said, if you do have something extra special, do it again. I've had people ask me if you can reuse them. These ones are not reusable because really your skin is going to absorb all the good stuff on there. You'll feel by the time you take it off, they're a little drier. Um, can you put the rest of the serum on your lids? That's probably a good question. I mean, I haven't done it. If someone from Jouer wants to answer that, I typically am really cautious about what I put on my actual lids, just because, lids aren't really intended to absorb product. Um, Unless it specifically says that. And I don't think these ones say that they can be used specifically on lids. So we'll see if someone else from Jouer pops on and answers yes or no about that. But like I said, I tend to use it on my neck, like just for that tightening effect, the niacinamide effect. It's great to use. So can you apply concealer after? Yes. And we're about to do that. Skincare is something I have really focused on. So yeah, I think, listen, when it comes to skincare, I will tell you, and most of you know me, and for anyone who doesn't, I turned 50 this year, and I get a lot of comments about my skin, like, your skin looks so great for 50, your skin. And I have all the classic signs of aging, just so you know. I mean, I do have the fine lines. When I squint, you can see them. My, tautness, that sort of elasticity is going. But the big thing, okay, so there you go. The founder of the brand says they're safe to use all around the eyes. um the big thing I say to people when it comes to skincare, I treat it like a hobby. It's just like someone who goes to the gym all the time. They're probably going to have a great body. If you go once in a while, you'll be okay. So I think with skincare, you have to just treat it like your hobby. And I just make it really enjoyable. I'm one of the, you're going to laugh at me. I'm sitting here right now and I have a candle burning. I'm really an ambiance. Thank you, Jade. I'm really an ambiance. Hi, Angela. I'm an ambiance person. So I don't make skincare a chore. I make it an experience. I'm telling you, in my bathroom, beside my sink, I have a candle. And when I go in to do my skincare, when I go in to do that stuff, I light my candle, I'll play music, I'll even turn down the lights. Like, I thoroughly enjoy the experience. And I'm not anyone that's like, oh, I gotta wash my face. Oh, like when I put on my eye patches, I love it. I put them on. I listen to my music when I'm getting ready. So I think you have to really. It's not a chore. It's not a punishment. Taking care of your skin is an absolute luxury. So I think just look at it that way. And one of my other things I always tell people when it comes to skincare is don't wait until you're exhausted at midnight to take off all your makeup and do your night routine. When I know that I'm home for the night and I'm not going anywhere, that's when I wash my face. I'll do all the cleansing. I'll put on my moisturizer. And then before bed, I might just go back in and do some eye cream and a little more serum. But I don't wait till I'm completely tired, or else, listen, I will never not take it off, but I'll be less sort of thorough with it. If I have a diffuser with lights in my bathroom, oh yeah, 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 perfect. I'm just reading some of the comments. I know. Are you hearing that, Christine? We should do a live together. I said that not long ago, but I heard a little rumor that she's like me, and it gets like a little nervous about live. So I always think doing them together would be easier too. Um, Now we're going to talk about concealers. So Jouer has two different formulas. I'm going to pull them up for us. What am I doing over there? I'm going to pull them up for us just because I think sometimes it helps for you to see them while I'm talking about them. So the first one is one that I think a lot of people have seen me use in my videos. It's the Liquid Coverage Concealer, Vitamin E, Hyaluronic Acid. So this is a creamy one. So I'm going to talk to you about the differences and why I would use one over the other, or why I would use both. This one here, great coverage. I'm going to show you. I'll do it on one eye. Great coverage. Really, really covers anything. But what I love about this one is I also will use it, again, to brighten down here, to smooth this out. I'll use it in place of foundation and sort of spot treat my whole face with this one. And then the other one, which I'm just going to go back and flip to and pull that up, is in a pen version, like a little click pen. And hold on a second, that's just loading. By the way, if we have glitchy internet, I apologize. Malibu, it's what it is. I mean, I deal with it every day. So that's loading. It looks like this. So it's a little clicker. Now, first of all, this one also has properties to treat under the eye, but what's so unique and special about this one is it goes right into the corners. It's shaped, the tip of it is shaped in a way that it's really, really gets right in those corners super easily. So I think what I'll do, I don't know, I'm going to go back and see if I can get that to load again. Sorry about that. Like I said, Malibu is a little bit of a, there we go. So that's the pen. Again, I use them both all the time. I'm going to show you how I use these. So let's do this one first. Just so you guys know, this is the color I use. It's macadamia. I can use probably 3 different shades of Jouer. So it depends what you like. You're going to see a lot of creators, influencers, educators, makeup artists tend to use their concealer shade much lighter than their face. I do not feel that is the best method on a mature skin. I feel that when you get really light under here, it can emphasize things. I tend to keep it pretty close to my actual skin color. And then if I want, I'll take a little bit of translucent powder or a setting powder that's slightly lighter to set it. But I tend to stick really close to my skin shade. So what I always do, most people's darkness is right in here. That's where you're going to find most of the vessels, most of the darkness. So I always hit that spot in there. I do that little corner and I drop it down. So those are my always like my first 2 little pieces. Then what I always teach people to do, if you take your finger and you roll it along your orbital bone, sort of right here in the middle, you're actually going to find there's a divot in that bone. There's actually a divot. So if you take your finger and you find that, once you find that, you'll realize, just like any sort of divot, it's going to create more shadow in that area. So I will always take my concealer and I find that little spot. So on me, I just know where it is now and I tap it there. Then I always do an upward swoosh at the end. That is the amount of concealer I apply. And even that, by the way, is a little much. Like I technically would go a little lighter in that area. But listen, once it's on, you could always work with it. This concealer formula is super, super blendable. So I don't worry about it. Let me just see. So again, one of my other tips that I always say with concealer is to let it set for a second. So once you have it on, don't go in right away and blend it. You actually want it to set or dry down just a little bit before blending it. When it comes to how to blend it, fingers, brushes, there's so many different ways to blend a concealer. And usually I say it just comes down to preference. I don't tend to use a lot of, let me find like a fluffy brush for concealer. And the only reason is a brush like this is going to pick up a lot of your product. So that's just wasting product. So a brush like this, it's synthetic. So a synthetic bristle won't grab product and lift it. It will just blend it. So this is a synthetic bristle, this is a synthetic bristle, or just use your fingers. So all I typically do, again, I don't rub because I don't want to move it all over, is I tap. So just in tapping motions, you're going to tap in that corner, tap here, and then again, bring this one up. Once I get my concealer sort of starting to blend, then I go in and I use my fingers, because the warmth of your finger is what really helps to make it look natural and set. So once you use your tool, whether that's a sponge, it's a brush, then go in with your finger and work it in. Another trick, and again, this is just sort of a makeup artist trick. When you get weird looking concealer or when it looks really artificial is when you put it too close up to your lash line, because you should have a natural shadow. If you think about, again, just your lashes, you should create a natural shadow under your lid. And when you make that really light, bright, and smooth all the way up, it can look very weird looking. So don't go all the way up with your concealer. Leave that tiny little millimeter gap right there, and you're just going to have a much more beautiful natural look. So I'm just looking in my own mirror here because I can't really see if I blended that well. So you can see it just gives a really beautiful, smooth look compared to that eye. Let me just see if there's any questions about this. Oh, good. This is someone you have all the colors we change. Okay. Someone's asking about exchanging colors. Um, Again, I always think when you're picking a color and you're not sure, like, so think about where you are in comparison to me. So if you're lighter toned, if you're darker toned, I'm usually that mid range tone. So I always say, depending on a brand's color range, I'm usually about 6 shades in from the lightest. Like there's usually like a ecru, ivory, fair. I'm never any of those. I tend to go more in the beige, sand, those kind of colors. Um, so I'm macadamia. Think about where you are, sort of comparison to me. Oh, there you go. Jouer has a shade finder, so that's good. So that's that one. And again, you can go in with this one. Another place I tend to use concealer often is right in here. So why do I use it in there? Because again, that creates shadow. So I tend to use concealer there to pick that up. Right here, again, on a more mature skin, we have that little bit of hollowing in there. Tap it in there to pick that up. And then I always do in here. So with this concealer, the liquid one, I find it to be super versatile, and I'll blend that out. Let me just grab my little brush. I will blend that out to almost work in the same way as a foundation. So once I get this on, I just blend it out. I'm tapping it all along that little smile line, marionette line, up through here. And you can see how easily that blended. It just has a really beautiful, beautiful look to it. Can you use powder concealer and contour instead of liquid? I've never seen powder concealer. But yes, you can use a powder contour. I'll use like a darker shade bronzer or something like that. I go back and forth between concealer, between powders and liquids when it comes to contour. But concealer, I've only ever seen liquid concealers. I could be wrong, but I've never, I find that my dark circles always show through. So if you're finding your concealer isn't covering enough, right? So let's say you put it on and you still have dark circles. Sometimes what you need to do is layer. So by layer, I mean like there's one coat of concealer. Let's say I wanted to go back in and add a little more. What I will often do, this is the Jouer translucent powder, which I was going to save for later, but I'll show you. What I'll do with it is I'll take the tiniest little bit of translucent powder and just tap it on top of that concealer and set it. And then I go right back in with the concealer and I'll add a tiny little bit more. So you're kind of layering it. And again, think of painting a wall. So think of like our eye patches were the primer. And then we went in and we did one coat, which was the first of this. And then sometimes you need a second coat to make that color opaque. So depending on the depth of darkness under your eye, you could need more than one coat. I just always say to people, I think really, unless you're 20 years old with perfect skin, you want your under eye area to not have too much product on it. Um, so you can just add a second coat like that, and you can see, there's a big difference developing between the two eyes. Let's show you the other one. Where did I just put it? Okay, the pen. So when I use this, I'm going to do the same type of, does it ever get dry? Do you mean, does this ever dry out? If that was the question, no, it's super creamy. And I don't know if you can hear this noise. Do you hear that noise? So when you hear that noise in a product, it means that this tubing actually has a nice little seal. So a lot of air isn't getting in there when you're pulling this out. If you have a product that you kind of don't hear that little pop, every time you open and close it, there's a lot of air going into your tube and you'll find it dries out. You'll find it starts to smell bad. Like it's getting too much air into it. So when you hear that little pop, like you're hearing with this one, that's a good seal. And so this will last you a really long time. It's not going to go bad. It's not going to oxidize. And yes, it'll stay really creamy and really fresh for you. This little guy. So I'm going to go in with this. It's made that perfect little shape to go in the corner of my eye. And I'm going to tap some right in that corner. I have never met anyone who doesn't need concealer there. And people often kind of start their concealer down here and they do this shape. This to me is the most important part. Really get in that corner of your eye. and then drop this down right in there. And then I always hit my one little spot we talked about, and then I'm going to bring it up. So that is my typical pattern for a mature eye. Um, Let me just see. I'm trying to read some of the comments. Yes, I'm using the exact same shade. So this and this are the exact same shade in the macadamia. Exact same one. Um, Once this is on again, always let it set. Just give it a minute because I find, like I said, if you go in too quickly, it's still a little too creamy. You're almost kind of rubbing it off. So you want to give it just a second to sort of adhere to your skin so that you're not sliding it anywhere. I mean, the key to doing specific placement is to sort of keep the majority of that product in the places you put it and then a thin veil going everywhere else. So then again, we're going to go in, like I said, you can use your finger to blend. And when I use my finger to blend, you're seeing I'm rolling. So I'm not pulling or really moving. I kind of just roll right on top of the area to blend it in. Oh, you guys, I have to tell you, just in case, and I'm going to show this to you after. Where did I put it? We have a where is it? We have a really amazing gift with purchase for you. So one of my favorite shadows, I had better have brought it in this room for you to show it to you, is their cream shadow called Baroque. It is the most stunning color. And if you spend $60 or more with us, you're going to get that for free. I had to tell you that because someone was asking me if I had a code. Do I have peach neutral gold? So I tend to be more of a gold neutral undertone. If you don't know how to find your undertones, look at your wrist. So if you pull up your wrist and you look at your veins, if your veins appear to be more green under your skin, you're typically a warmer undertone. If they tend to appear more blue under your skin, you're probably a more cool undertone. Also, a sort of simpler, easy way to tell if you can't figure it out from your wrist is what do you look better in, gold or silver jewelry? If you tend to look really good in golds, you're probably a warm. And if you're really unsure, just choose neutral. But someone that looks like me, sort of that golden complexion, hazily brown eyes, we tend to be in the warm category. Let me blend this in. I'm just looking. I was positive I brought my Baroque over here. I better have because I wanted to show it to you. It is the most stunning. I wear it all the time. I put it under my eyes. I put it on my lids. It is the most stunning color. So I'm just adding a little bit more of this, more so that it matches that eye. Um, yes, you can look at your knuckles. So anywhere that you can see the veins pretty clearly is where you're going to get a really good idea what your undertone is. So we're just pressing that in. So again, the big difference is I find is this one's not as swooshy. I mean, it's not a liquid, it's more of a stick. So when you're blending it, you kind of have to work it a little more, but it stays put. Like once you put it where you want it, it really stays there. So you can see with this one where how you're seeing a difference right now. Remember, I used this and kind of put it everywhere. So this one, all you're seeing is just concealer. This one, I kind of went in and smoothed everything out for you. Hello, Jamie. Um, what was I going to say? So let's say you have this one on, right? You have to kind of blend it now. So that's where I would go in with this or my regular foundation and just do my little taps everywhere just to kind of make it so that it's not just all concealer on that side of my face. Do you use, so I talked about this a little in the beginning. I'll talk about it again, just in case anyone didn't hear. Basically, I don't think on a mature skin, it's the best idea to have your foundation or your concealer very light. You can see this color I'm using is not a light shade at all, especially when you hold it up to my skin. And it's definitely still brightening. If you get too light under the eyes on a mature skin, you can end up with a really chalky look. It doesn't look good. And I'm sure we've all seen it on people. So someone's asking, does it settle in fine lines or wrinkles? No, it's a very flexible foundation. So once you have it on, it tends to really move and flex nicely with movement, with fine lines, with wrinkles. I mean, again, the key to any type of concealer is prepping before. So by prepping before, eye patches, eye cream, anything like that. You want to have a hydrated under eye area so that your skin isn't pulling the concealer for moisture. So again, these concealers are so skincare and treatment based. I mean, they have hyaluronic acid in them. They're beautiful concealers. So your skin, if it's dehydrated or dry, is going to pull the concealer as its moisturizer. So, and that's where you'll also have people that'll say like, "Whoa, I put my concealer on and by noon it's gone." It's not gone. It didn't take its little legs and walk away. Your skin absorbed it because it was dehydrated or dry and it pulled your concealer for moisturizer. So, big thing if you're finding your concealer doesn't last, if you're finding it's settling into fine lines and wrinkles, I would really work on your prep beforehand because a lot of times you're just dehydrated and your skin is pulling the concealer. So, those are the two concealers. I'm going to take some questions and just see if I have more questions about the concealers because then I'm going to jump onto my powders. And I'm still looking for my little Baroque. And I swear, if it's not here, I am going to run and grab it because you have to see how it looks on. Um, and I have one other thing. I have a couple of things I want to show you. So let's see. Should I use primer or before? Okay, good question. So if you're using primer under the eye, the primer is going to go before concealer. Again, really test your primer and make sure it's a good one for under eyes because a lot of face primers aren't the best for under eyes. It depends if they're silicone based or not. Silicone I find under the eye almost causes too much slip and the concealer won't sit really nicely. It almost will slide. So I tend to, if I'm gonna, if again, if I feel like I need primer under my concealer, I won't use a silicone based one. I'll use much more like a water based, something like that, so that my concealer actually sits nicely. Joy Balm for the night of the Yes. So again, if you're looking, so this is someone who's using the balm, and I was just about to talk about the balm. For daytime eye treatment, I tend to go again. I like things with vitamin C in them for the under the eye, things with antioxidants in them for daytime. So antioxidants are going to be what protects you from environmental aggressors. Anything from smoke, pollution, the lights in your office, the lights in your house. So this one is nighttime. Let's hope that they come out with a daytime eye cream. Um, but yeah, look for something sort of brightening antioxidant for the day. So that brings us to the Luminize Night Balm. I'm going to pull that little blurb up on here so you can see what it looks like. So this is a really new launch, and I have to tell you, I wish oh no, don't tell me I have my Malibu bad Wi-Fi. The amount of direct messages I get after people have tried this, it's remarkable, saying the differences in their eyes. So this is what we were talking about. It's a balm, so very thick, rich, and it's for correcting dark circles and brightening under the eye. So it's got the vitamin K, it's got caffeine, it's got niacinamide, it's got all the things in one. I mean, literally, if you could jam pack every ingredient for dark circles and sort of brightening in an under eye treatment, it's in here. And then it's done in the form of a slugging balm. So again, if you're someone that's on social media, you probably saw there was like a really big sluggy balm craze in the last year. So basically what slugging is when you use sort of a barrier rich product. And so I'm just trying to give you an idea what the texture looks like. When you use a barrier product that's going to lock in moisture. So it's not meant to overly absorb into the skin. It's meant to sit on the skin, creating a shield and a barrier. So this one in particular, you use it under the eyes at night. And again, at night, simply because of that rich, thick texture. I mean, I don't think there's anything wrong with wearing it in the day. I mean, listen, I live in LA and Malibu. I mean, people walk around with, I mean, I went to the grocery store the other day and this woman was in the grocery store wearing a full LED mask. Like, the literally the full LED mask, pushing her cart, like could care less. So honestly, if you don't mind sort of that glossy look, I can see nothing wrong with putting this on during the day. But it's intended and it was made for nighttime. simply because of, again, that texture, that sort of, I'm trying to see what you guys can see, that sort of, high sheen, high gloss, but it has the powerhouse ingredients for darkness. That's just what it does. People ask me, is it good for puffiness? Is it good for, it is going to address everything. I mean, just that sort of moisture barrier alone is really good for fine lines. It's really good for wrinkles because that's what we all need at this age. But then that vitamin K, the niacinamide for brightening, I mean, you really wake up with the most refreshed, beautiful looking skin. And then as you keep using it, you'll start to see the dark circles become less, less, less. It's really phenomenal. There is nothing like it. If you have an eye cream that you already love, put it under. So let's say you're using a retinol eye cream. Let's say I mean, whatever eye cream you're using that you love, maybe you already own it. You're not just going to stop using it. You spent good money on it. You put that on first. And then this, because it's a barrier, it's a slugging bomb, is also going to lock in your eye cream. And your eye cream becomes more effective because now we've sort of sealed it in and we've locked it in. It's phenomenal. I'm just going to read if there's any questions about this one. So, first of all, I don't know if you noticed on my screen, it's $30, which to me, for an eye treatment, I mean, the ones I've traditionally used add a 2 in front of that 30. And that's eye creams that I've been using that have a fraction of the ingredients that this one has. So the price alone is phenomenal. And when you see how little you use, I would be shocked if this little jar doesn't last you 4 to 6 months. So definitely worth the investment. I can't say it enough. And like I said, every single person I know that has used it is obsessed with it. I'm pulling a little bit of that off because I want to show you a few. Oh my gosh, we've been on here for 40 minutes. Wow, maybe I should do lives more often. That went fast. Does it feel like it went fast for you guys or did it go slow? For me, that flew by. I want to show you some fun things just because I've been using them lately and I love them. So first of all, and you know me, you know I'm obsessed with their powders. I posted a video with this powder and it had millions and millions of views. Um, First of all, again, just like all the Jouer products, they are treatments. So it's not just a powder. It's talc free. It has hyaluronic acid, so it's super hydrating for your skin. But at the same time, you have to watch what this does. And unfortunately, I want to pull the powder up on my screen. Every time I pull this up, I get nervous now because of my internet. There we go. Soft focus powder. So here's the thing, they come in several shades and it also comes in a translucent. I can use, this is the light. I can use light, I can use medium, and then I also use translucent. Medium is a little dark on me, but in the summer it's great. Now, I don't think I can't zoom you in on here. I really wish I could so you could see what this does because it's insane. This powder literally takes away any pore, any imperfection on the skin. It is an airbrush. It is like you have airbrushed your skin. I don't know if you can see because I can't get you in close enough, but beyond. So that's the light I just put on. And like I said, look at the difference between one side and the other. This side it looks like that side just has full makeup on. So that is the Jouer Soft Focus Powder in light. Again, go to, swear by. Can't get enough of that product. I'm going to show you what translucent looks like. So why would you choose a translucent over a shade? If you are someone that wears, let's say you are like a contour blush highlighter, like you do a little more steps to your makeup. When you use a powder like the light or the medium that has a little bit of a tint to it, you can mute a little bit of your colors. So if you have, like I said, the blush, the highlighter, it can blur it a little bit. So if you want those steps to really stand out individually, you might want to go with translucent. So translucent, all it's doing is giving you that blur, that smoothness, that perfected skin, but without adding any shade or any color. This brush, you know what's so funny? Everyone asks me about it. It's by Pat McGrath, and I adore it. It's got I don't even know. It's not really a stippling brush, but all the brushes are different little lengths, so it disperses powder really well. Again, I don't know if you can see. Do you see how gorgeous these are? It's like the most luxury, phenomenal. Like I'm a packaging junkie, and the minute I saw Jouer packaging, I died. I mean, their packaging is so exceptional. So let's me be quiet, and I'm going to put this on. Um, so I use this right under my eyes, by the way. No problem using it under the eyes. And you can see it's instantly just making everything sort of smooth, perfected, stunning. The best powder, the best powders. But you see the difference between the medium and the translucent? There's definitely a difference. Um, Radiant translucent, I love that one too. So radiant translucent is, and I'm not sure, someone from Jouer pop on and let me know if it's available right now, because I know it came out as a limited edition and then it was popular, it came back. So the radiant translucent has a really soft halo glow. So not a shimmer, not a sparkle, but a glow. So think of it almost like if you picture like the Supergoop, the Glow Bomb, how it doesn't shimmer, it just glows. That's what the Radiant Translucent does. The name of the powder is, let me go back and show you so you can find it on here. By the way, I mean, I'm sure you're seeing it on your site. Anything I'm using that you want, just click the little want it button and it goes in your cart. And then, like I said, if you spend over $60, you're getting the Baroque eye pencil, which I am so upset with myself that I don't have it sitting here because it's phenomenal. And I'm telling you you know what I'm going to do for you, just because I'm going to do it and I forgot to bring it. The second I end this live, I'm going to film a really quick swipe of that eyeshadow. I'll put it on my Instagram story and I will put it on TikTok so you can see exactly what the gift with purchase is going to look like. I apologize. I thought I had it sitting with me, but I want you to see it because it's the best. So this is the translucent powder on this side, and this was the shade light on that side. And like I said, you can definitely see this side's a little deeper, and that's from that powder. Now, I know I'm taking up so much of your time. We're at 46 minutes. I'm going to wrap it up, but I have to show you one last thing. One last thing. Where's my little package? So this is the Bare Rose collection that just came out, and I want to show you what comes with it because you would be crazy not to get it. It's a lip liner, a little cheek stick, and the lipstick. And I just have to show you how flattering it is. So if you've never used a Jouer lip pencil, they're an automatic pencil, and they're so smooth and creamy. They just blend on. That's the pencil that comes with it. It's in rose. This is the little cheek stick. Again, in rose. You can use it direct from the tube or just apply it like this. Look how gorgeous that is. By the way, you can see I'm applying it right over powder. People get really freaked out when I put things over powder like that. You can do it. So my face looks a little weird because, like I said, this side's going to be a little darker because of the powder. But look at that blush color. It's just a flush. It's like literally like that perfect, either I just got a little bit of sun or I just came back from like a hike. It's such a perfect flush. You can use this right on your lips to give you that glow. But the little kit, I'm going to pull up the kit so you guys can see it. Also comes with a balm. These are sort of a hybrid between a balm and a lipstick. So super, super creamy. I'm trying to, like, again, I can't zoom you in so you can't see it. Super, super creamy, super moisturizing, but they last, I mean, not last like a long wearing lipstick, but this will last me hours. Let me find it on here so you can see it because I think it is a limited one and I would grab it. Where is it on here? If someone from the Jouer team knows where to tell me to find it, I'm just trying to find the kit on here. Oh, maybe bundles. Here we go. Bundles and sets. Oh, here it is. Here it is. I want to show this to you guys. It's stunning. I mean, it's stunning. So I think, you know, I feel like it's funny because this side of my face is darker. But anyways, I went through a bunch of products. I probably overwhelmed everyone here. And if I did, I apologize. I'm an overwhelmer. I'm going to take a few more questions and then I will let everyone go and enjoy their Tuesday nights. So let me know if you've got more questions. I am, like I said, I want to show you the Baroque shadow because I use it all the time. So if you're on the fence about anything, as soon as I hang up from you here, I'm going to film that. And like I said, it'll be on my Instagram story and I'll put it on TikTok story so you can see exactly what the eyeshadow looks like. And I just have to tell you, first of all, so thank you for being here for this live because these things are always nerve wracking. And I know this is going to sound crazy, but I really want to thank the Jouer team because they're such great people for me to work with. I love their products. It's a female founded company, it's a small business. Like, there's just for me, it's such a perfect match. Because I adore their products, but I just adore what they stand for. So I have to say that because there's so many big cosmetic lines out there that can kind of gobble up, whether it's a NARS and to see a small business like this, that's just amazing. I'm just happy to support them and I'm happy to see you guys support them. So it's a win-win for everyone. I just wanted to say that. Let me see if there's questions from anybody else before I say good night. Thank you for being here. Thanks for the hearts, Kathy. I'm just seeing if there's any other questions from anyone. Um, I think also I can show you. Oh yeah, down here, like anything I talked about um, is listed. So if you're someone that really wants to read about the ingredients after the fact, there's people like I'm someone that likes to read ingredient listings. Of course, do that. I have found that all these products are so clean. Like I said, the powders are talc free. Like I have never had reactions. Clients that are sensitive have never had reactions. So I think you're really, really safe with these. Also, I would love to know from you guys if you want to do another live, what you would be interested in. Let me know if you want to do like a full makeover, like lightweight makeup for summer, or you want to do, let me know and I'm happy to sort of tailor something that's, what you guys are looking for. But I just know I get asked so many questions about dark circles and under eyes and concealers that I thought this would be a great first place to start. Summer makeup, summer makeup. Yeah, so I could put together even like a bundle of my favorite summer products. It's like a summer look that's good for everyone. This is really pretty for summer too. I call me crazy, but like I'm looking at my cheeks and my lips and I'm like, ooh, that looks really good. Are the products fragrance free? I don't smell anything in these products. Um, Maybe a little bit. Vanilla is maybe from someone from Jouer can answer that. There's not a detectable fragrance, and I'm a fragrance person, but there is, yeah, so a little tiny vanilla something. I don't smell anything in the concealer. It smells like product, if you know what I mean. Like I don't think they used a masking fragrance to mask it. It just smells like a clean product to me. Sharon, get the powder. You'll regret it if you don't, especially right now because there's the gift with purchase. So it's a perfect time to do it. I'm going to wish you all a beautiful night. Thank you for being here. Again, I think there'll be a copy of the live. So if you want to go back and rewatch anything, it'll be there. And I'm going to take 2 seconds and I'm going to do a little quick swatch of the Baroque eyeshadow so that you can see exactly what the gift with purchase is. And thank you, thank you, thank you. I appreciate all of you being here.